Uh, my dear citizens of Kenya, my brothers and sisters, we are all brothers and sisters because we belong to this country called Kenya. And God found it worthy for us to be born in Kenya and also to grow in Kenya and to be fed by Kenya, which is our motherland. Um, I have come to speak because of what is happening on our daily basis, especially what we are seeing or happening each and every day in the media, um, the antagonism that has been there between the opposition, between the opposition and the government, between the government and the government, between opposition and opposition, and also sometimes as clergies and believers, we've also been put into the same perspective whereby uh, we have what we call a blame game, which is not right. Um, I am Reverend Dr. Joseph, and I have come up to speak this one because it is very important for us to have it and for us to know about it and for us to speak it out because it is the right, it is our one of the human rights in the Kenyan Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and which must be given to us that we must do what we call the we must do follow the right of expression. Okay, so I'm here to speak to you Kenyans because you are good people and you make this country to be very unique in the whole world. We are very unique because we are fearfully and wonderfully made by God. Our leaders are also unique because they are fearfully and wonderfully made by God. Our politics are very unique because they are politics of democracy, egoism, and rulership, and all those demagogic kind of leaderships, and so on. We are not yet matured in our democracy. And therefore, there are several things that are done to try to curtail democracy not to thrive. Because democracy, which is well developed, is where anybody can say anything and anybody can express himself in the way he wants, and he has that freedom. But still, in this expression, as Kenyans, we should know that our expression is devoid of threats, it is devoid of incitation, should not incite, it is devoid of hate speech, it is devoid of other negativity. So when we are expressing ourselves, we should be very positive, and when we are opposing, we should oppose with the facts and the reality of matters, not with hatred, not with anger, and so on. We should understand that when the government is in place, the government is supposed to serve the people, the citizens of Kenya, irrespective of which corner of this country you come from, irrespective of your voting patterns, irrespective whether you have attained the age of adulthood to vote or whether you are a child, you are supposed to be served equally. Meaning, any person who has come into power should understand that Kenya is not who gave them the vote or who never gave them the vote. It's about every Kenyan. Development should be taken to every corner of this country. And the government should be ready to speak to each and every person, each and every community of this nation. We are now around 50 or so ethnic groups, ethnic communities. And all of us belong to the same Kenya. All of us are under the same government. So we are supposed to be listened by the government given that chance. And that is why today I want to say kudos to our Deputy President, His Excellency, Professor Kithure Kidiki. What he is doing is paramount to the unity and the social development of this country called Kenya. Bringing people together to your office, discussing palatable issues, problems that are within the communities. Because as different ethnics of this country, we have different problems that we need to solve. The problem that is in Mandera is not the same problem that is in Turkana. It is not the same problem that is in Kware. It is not the same problem that is in Mombasa, for example. And therefore, bringing people from Mandela to be able to share with them what they feel being Kenyans and where they feel they need to be considered much is more important. And because the government unites the citizens, whereby the hand of state is the symbol of unity in this nation, and because the hand of state is being opposed by all corners, all people of every level, it is wise what the deputy president is doing. And now the government also should allow the opposers to oppose it so that they can pick what is being spoken by the opposition and put it in practice, which is positive to build the country. But the politics which are there today should not continue the same. The government should not go and reply back to those people who are opposing it. The government should perform. Yes. And we Kenyans, we understand very well that the leadership works on a strategy, on a strategic plan. The government told us they have a plan. We understand the plan cannot be fulfilled, all of it, within 5 or 10 years also. Because, if I give an example, the former president, the late His Excellency Mwai Kibaki, came up with a vision of 2030, which we are thriving under, and which the government should be working upon. And this Vision 2030, if you remember in the year 2005, that is where we started the programs for the affordable housing, where there was the slums upgrading program. And you see, it was a vision of 2030. So if from 2005 up to 2030, if you count the number of years in it, those are 25 years. 25 years. There is no way the president could have governed this country for 25 years. The maximum years are 10 years. And therefore, when he left, the former president also, in the matter of housing, it was put within the Big Four agenda. In the Millennium Development Goals of the United Nations, it was supposed to be achieved by 2050. But within the vision of Kenya, it is up to 2030. You understand what I mean? So the country is governed through a strategy, and not all strategic plans that are incorporated in the plan that are supposed to be realized during the governing or during the government of the day. No, because it is a plan that has been put there for even when this government is not there, the same plan can continue working because it is a plan for Kenyans. So as Kenyans, when we are telling the government they must fulfill what they promised us, the problem is only that they never told us whether it was the short term, the medium term, or the long term. But personally, I can look into it and see that there are plans which are for long term and medium term. And the time we have for 5 years is a short term. Okay? And therefore, the government should come up and tell us what we are achieving within this short term is A, B, C, D. I'm going to deal with agriculture. I'm going to deal with healthcare. I'm going to deal with education. for the short term. For the long term, the other person will come, will go through will go through what we call the plan and see, now we can work on this plan and make it better. The government should now be working better on making the CBC, the competency-based curriculum in the education, to work. They should not make it not to work because they are not the one who started it. Remember, the free primary education was started by the late His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki, but still several people benefited from it. Today, you should not take us back and say that we are supposed to pay for the primary education. That would be retrospective. In fact, the secondary education could have been free and for all as a basic education because it is enshrined in the Kenyan Constitution. Water should be given to every Kenyan as enshrined in the Kenyan Constitution. Not only water, but safe and clean drinking water. Healthcare also should be put as a mandatory and should be to everyone, provided by the government of Kenya. Okay, according to the Kenyan Constitution. Okay, so what I want to tell you today as Kenyans is that we should thrive working on a strategy that is continuous so that we can build our economies. Not every leader coming to power and not working on the same strategy. Yes, you may call it other names, like now the housing in the former His Excellency Mwai Kibaki the late was slums upgrading. That was to put the slums away. It could not have been realized within that short time. Then the former president Uhuru Kenyatta also came with the big four agenda. And today we see the government is talking of the affordable housing, and they should be really affordable. Why should I say they should be really affordable? The slums upgrading, it failed because we were removing people from the slums to afford to the affordable housing or to the upgraded housing. But in the slums, they were spending little amount of money. And in the houses that were built, they were only supposed to care for the bills and also to be paying little amount of money, which now was turned up to be, I think, 3,000 per month, which was not affordable for those people who were in the slums. I hope now the affordable housing will be affordable by the same people in the slums that we are putting them in the affordable houses. They will be able to pay for the bills and they'll be able to pay little amount of money, even if it is 1,000 per month, because the house will belong to them at the long run and the long run. But we should now reduce the amount of money they are supposed to pay so that they can be able to occupy those houses. If not, we'll never put the slums away at any single time. And it will never be affordable housing. So the government should come up with the strategies. The strategies of land ownership also, it has become a thorny issue. But because it is a strategy, whether it will be realized in the year 2070 or 2075 or 2095, it should be put in the strategy. We have so many ideas that have ever been given. We have commissions that have ever been formed. We have recommendations that they have ever given. Why don't we put these recommendations within our manifesto so that we can make Kenya to be better, become the middle economic country, also to become the first economic country in the world? It can. It is possible. So, my dear friends, let us understand when we are opposing, let us oppose giving a solution to what should be done. We should not sit back and say, because it is the government, it is those people who are in the power, let them work effectively and let us sit back and see. No, it's not a poem, it is not a theater where somebody says it is this and this kind of a group, and now we are working on this. Sit back, relax, and watch. No, Everybody of us should be doing something to make this country better. We should add value to our own country in everywhere, in any area that we are working. We should put more effort into working, not to destroy. And now the government should also listen to us, not because we are opposing it. It should also listen. Why are these people speaking this? And they should come and tell us openly. We are doing this not because we are not listening to you, but whatever we have evaluated, this is the thing that we are supposed to do, and this is which will be better for all of us. Give us reasons. Let us reason together. To our Deputy President, His Excellency Professor Kithure Kidiki, continue uniting these people, continue bringing them to your discussion table. And let them also, because every person who is suffering has a possible solution on how he can come out from that kind of suffering. Let us listen to them, empower them by letting them do what is possible for them to do to solve the problem. And let us get the resources to help them solve these problems. The resources might not be money, the resources might be knowledge, the resources might be connection, the resources might be networking, the resources might be your presence, the presence of government, wherever these people want the government to be. Your presence would mean a lot in achieving whatever the community wants to achieve. Be with the community. Listen, come to the community. Give them hope. The way you did when Minister Honorable Rocco asked you that you should make sure one of the roads in which was his former constituency should be done. And you answered him, yes, come we do it together. That's why you're in the government. We citizens, we are also in the government, even if we are opposing the government. We don't have another government, but we should also put us into the perspective. Listen to us, let us share together ideologies, and if possible, meet with each and every ethnic group of this country. Let us all be assured that we are united with one cause, and let us all arise and build this nation together. When we do that, Kenyans will have a nation that we are going to be proud of. Yes, we are doing better than other nations in the world, but we need to do more better. We need to do more better. Oppositions, please give us a solution of the problem that you see we are having. The solution is not that the leaders should move out. If they move out, what solution are you giving us? Remember when the president who we are having today, when he was the deputy president, and he was telling us when he will take over the government, he is going to fix some of the issues. Today, those issues are white elephants in his government because you cannot work alone. You must have a team that is willing. You must have Kenyans that are supporting. And because most of the politicians do not want to come up opening and tell us this is the challenge that we have. I'm very proud of our deputy president telling that minister that we need to work together. We need to seek the solution together. He was truthful to the core. And this is the truthfulness that we need to have, that together we can. Together we will make. Together we are going to move. This is it. Not that I am going to fix. No one alone can be able to fix. The government needs us citizens. The government needs us clergymen. The government needs even the person who is led at the lowest pyramid. That person is needed. That's why the government was speaking about a hustler government, reaching to the people who are on the ground. Let us be reachable. Anybody who has an idea, let open the doors for the people. Open the doors. Form small groupings that or clusters that you can be able to communicate to and give the ideas that you have and let the citizens work on them. May God bless you. I am Reverend Dr. Joseph. I love Kenya and I love anybody who has been put into leadership, whether it is in government or in the opposition. And I love you, Kenyans. May God bless you and have a nice time.